I woke up this morning and I set up sometimes I'm not, I notice a little bit of flow issue when I do my post 5 and my pre 9, the in between there. And what I mean by that is after 5 p.m. and before 9 a.m. So inside there, of course, I've got my tear down and my post-mortem, and then I've got my setup. So I'm preparing for the next day, and I also digest any of the information that I processed the day before, that day. Inside that weaponization of information, which is between those two zones, sometimes there's the magic, right? So the reason why I did that setup is because there's an hour of power that you can find in the morning. And I thought it would happen at night. What happens at night is you kind of precog some of the thoughts that you're gonna, digest and process while you're sleeping, in REM. And I do that every night. I REM every single night. I have no problem sleeping. So maybe that's why I'm able to manage all this information and organize it so that it actually comes out properly to tell you. Anyway, this morning I was thinking about something that I had been thinking about for a long time, and that was how much time is left for people making the wrong decisions. In terms of what I'm investing in their business to modernize strategically, how much time do they have left? And the answer is none, right? Because I've been doing this for writing this whole this narrative for 5 years now. And the automated method is 5 years old. And I rebranded because I knew that the world had changed already, and it was only a matter of time before it was going to get real difficult for businesses to operate in a competitive manner without absolutely being having the optimal strategy on a daily basis. And I guess one of the things that I have to make sure that is understood there is that the people that work for you, okay? I saw years ago, the just in observation analysis, as a social observer, I saw years ago a problem where younger people entering a traditional workforce or a traditional business, or a business that appears modern but operates traditionally. I saw a huge breakdown a long time ago of the employee retainership, and I hate to say employee, but we'll say team member retainership, or people interested in working for the business at an extended period of time. And the reason for that was because I know that if you are socially aware and you have all the apps on your phone, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what industry or market you're in, you're paying attention to all the tricks and the tweaks and the shortcuts and just the way it should be. And so that these people, some people would say millennial, but I don't think it's all millennial. I think it's just people that are very socially connected to the app world, right? The social app world. They would go into a business, and I would see the problem would be between the owner's vision, and hopefully they're a leader. A lot of the times they're not, but the leader's vision and what the potential team member knew about the industry and the market, or just in general business operation. And if there's a clash where the person that was hired thinks, why aren't we doing it this way? And then they think that, they're thinking, why am I working so hard? Or why am I not being given the operations and the applications to make my job easier and better for me, so I enjoy it more, and I'm a higher productive team member, which is better for the business. And years ago I saw that, and that was when people just started talking about millennial, et cetera, et cetera. And so if you're watching this, Like we're talking 5+ years ago. Maybe even I saw some things come up 7 years ago, right? And that, if you think, compare it to now you'll probably understand why there's a disadvantage, why there's something that's frustrating you as a business owner and you can't put your finger on it. And that's it. You were being judged. You were silently being judged by your team. And then because like everybody says, like loyalty is dead, etc., that is like, those things together is like a recipe for like a high employee, quote unquote, team member turnaround. Because you have no real culture, that forward thinking culture that wants to keep people around, or they don't like the brand. Because like, it's like people want to work for a company that they like to represent. And the younger they are, the more that actually is absolutely like true, right? So like, if they might not even like your logo. That's why you got to think of your brand all the time. So like young people with modern minds entering a traditional business that hasn't modernized may judge your logo. And if you don't think that is something that you have to take into account, well then that's why you're gonna have a serious problem. Like it doesn't matter what strategy you implement, like there's gonna be like a tidal wave of things that frustrate you constantly. And that's why I think this has popped in my head. And that's why I started to get more social, or wanted to get more social about this, because if people haven't heard these narratives before, it blows my mind, because I totally understand it. And well, now maybe you do as well. And so I wanted to state that it's 2020 and the war has already begun. And this is an information channel that will provide you with a lot of stories and a lot of like just plain Jason ruthlessness describing how what he thinks is bad business, and why there are like so many missed opportunities for like small and medium businesses to actually profit from a lot of these things that have already changed in society that they might think is a disadvantage. And I think that there's a strategic advantage, but you just have to make these changes now. Actually, you need to build a time machine and go back 5 years and make that change. Because if you're just like thinking about it right now, or even just starting to do it right now, and I mean whatever the automated method would say is the perfect engineered wireframe for modern business, if you're not doing it right now, you're way behind.